Hello, grace and peace to you, members, friends, community of Lakewood Congregational Church. I want to take a little bit of time to show you our Walk to Jerusalem project that we've been working on here on Google Earth. It's an ongoing and collaborative project of our Lenten journey in 2002 here at LCC. You can see here the kind of rainbow color lines, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And I'll explain this a little more shortly. Are each week of our Walk to Jerusalem Lenten journey. If you've been a part of this, you know that we're logging our mileage to try to get us, metaphorically, obviously, from the northeast corner of West Clifton and Detroit in Lakewood, Ohio, to the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. So it's 7,304 miles, and we're already about 2,000 miles into it. So to begin with, I want to let you know that you can view this journey on your own and interact with it here at this website, tinmural.com /LCC Advent Map. You can also find links in your email if you're a part of the LCC mailing list, or I'll put the link below in the comments or in the description section of this video on YouTube. So this is a really important journey for me, really a spiritual journey that has been rewarding and fruitful and beautiful, and I want to share it with you. These kind of reminders that God's beautiful and vast earth is so interconnected and intertwined that we are just a tiny little part of it, and yet such a crucial and important part of it. That, as you've heard me say before, the world is God's and we are on it, not the other way around. So as we begin, I'm very mindful of the war in Ukraine. I marked it just a little bit here on the map in yellow. It's I was in Ukraine in 2008 myself, and it's a beautiful country with such kind, beautiful people. But also noting that there is war at all times throughout this beautiful earth. So many places that are at war in Africa, in the Middle East, in so many homes that are at war, so many communities that are at war, close and far away, hearts that are at war within themselves. And so I want to note for Ukraine and for the whole world, just a moment of prayer and reflection, really sharing the words from Isaiah in chapter 2, when he said, prophesying the words of God, Isaiah said, "In the days to come, the mountain of the Lord's house will be established as the highest of the mountains, and it'll be raised above the hills. And the nations will stream to it." And he says many people will go there and they'll learn of God's ways and they'll learn to walk in the path that God has set before us. And he says, Isaiah says, God will judge between the nations. God will mediate. God will establish justice. God will find a peace that is brought about by justice between the nations. And God will arbitrate. God will mediate. for many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and they will turn their swords into pruning hooks. And nation shall not lift up sword against nation, and neither shall they learn war anymore. May it be so. Oh God, may it be so. If we start our journey then, we would begin at Lakewood Congregational Church, like I said, at the northeast corner of West Clifton in Detroit. And I'm sorry if this makes you dizzy. There we are. This is our beautiful church. You can tell that this photo, this screenshot, street view, was taken in June of 2021. And the reason I know that is because here is our pride flag, which hangs in June. And the tree that used to be here is gone. And that went down in the summer of 2021. So that's how I know. It's June of 2021 that this street view was recorded. If you go over here, then we can see our other entrance, and we can say hello to our Haynes Nursery School children and our little free library. And if we go down just a teeny little way, we can say hello to our in-building neighbors and our partners and friends in ministry at Trinity Lutheran Church. If we go a little bit to the east, then we'll see our new national office of the United Church of Christ. They just moved from a different location in Cleveland and now find ourselves at the Acon building. This way, then, you'll see all of week 1 of our journey. The first week of our journey here is in red, and brings us to Sable Island. Julie Marlin wrote our trail guide for week 1, and I marked her little spots along the way, which were fun to find. You can read this in your email or by going to see this project. But I want to kind of speed through it a little bit faster than that allows, so I'm not going to stop and read it all. If we then were to go to week 2, which is where we are now, you'll see our trail guide, which was written by Charlotte Petrie. She did such a nice job recognizing that there's not a lot to see other than vast ocean. And so, as she writes here, below our feet, the ocean is teeming with life, even at the deepest depth. With no light, life finds a way. And then she says, and then if we look up, we will see the sky full of stars and the Milky Way. So I'll show you some of those things. Here is Sable Island, which I did not know existed. I found it here on Google Earth, and it's a Canadian island. Sable means sand. We can go down here to view the beach, God's beautiful sky, the streaking clouds and the waves. You can explore a little more of this island if you want to do that. If you're doing this on your own without me, what you would want to do to go to Street View is take this little, we call him the little man, and you drag him and you can see, let's see, we have to zoom in a little. You can see where you can put him down because it's blue. So we'll go there in this spot here. And you can only walk in the spots where there's blue. But here's a little part on that path. So it's kind of fun to see. Here's some footsteps. It was there that he carried me, right? So then we'll go, we already went there. We'll look at the deep ocean. Now, Google Earth, actually, somebody else created a really neat Google Earth project that shows the deep ocean. So you could click on that link, or you can just type into Google the deep ocean or the world's ocean on Google Earth. And it would show you kind of all these really kind of deep sea moments. The Komodo Island, here's one. So that's another thing. We don't have to do that right now. So the deep ocean, under the ocean here. We look up at the sky and we see the Milky Way, which is just so phenomenal. And this is a link, I won't click on it now, but it'll take you to, you can see the night sky above you, what it would look like tonight from where you are or anywhere in the world. If we were here in the middle of the ocean and we looked up, then you would see this. Something like this. But we, on our journey, are right about here. Right about here. I put us all in these little boats and hot air balloons. You can see if you can find yourself here. If you're on your speedboat here, or if you're swimming, or if you're on your paddleboard, that's Christy. If you're on your dragon, or if you brought your dog, we're just so glad you're with us. This is actually not right anymore. This is, today I'm recording this on 3/12, and we've got a few hundred more miles. So we're not quite here. We're further along. Probably somewhere here in the Azores. So probably past it. It's a little part of Portugal, or kind of part off of Portugal. I found a very cute little chapel here that I just love. I love the colors of it. The yellow and the white. It's so pretty. I want to go there. In week 3, and I'm not going to go this far right now, I'm going to start a new video and do it another time. I'll show you some more really neat places here on this island that I found. And then we'll get to Morocco. We're going to go into Morocco and continue our journey from there. For now, I'm not going to go into week 3, but I do want to show you just a little bit of an overview, just so you know what we have to expect. So you can see that ahead here, there are a lot of red marks and purple marks in this area. It's because I mapped out the Exodus according to the book of Numbers, to the best of my ability, so that we can make that journey with the Israelites. Not the easy way, and I'll tell you why later, but the long way. And here, really where all these purple dots are, this is Holy Week. This is where we'll end up at some point. There's so many fascinating things about this journey, I'll tell you along the way. And just for a little bit of perspective, there's this measuring stick. So you can see from the tomb of Lazarus to the garden tomb in Jerusalem, that's 1.74 miles. It's not very far that Jesus journeyed. You could see, if you wanted to, that this journey kind of through the Exodus, just very roughly. We don't have to do this well, but this is how you do it. Is somewhere around maybe 575 miles, something like that. It's pretty fascinating. So I marked a few other places that are important to us on the globe, and I'll continue to show those to you. I have down here, and we'll zoom in eventually, but for now, just Mount Selinda Hospital of the UCC and the United Church of Christ of Zimbabwe are just two locations that have been special to us in the past few years at Lakewood Congregational Church, where we've donated money. I have the Camino Trail up here. We have a number of church members who have walked that journey. I have a few places that are hidden right now for privacy reasons, but places where our college students are and where our snowbirds are, so that we can see our connections throughout LCC and where we are. I want to work on this together during coffee hour, during faith formation, and if you want to stop in to my office and take a look at it with me, I would love that. It's, like I said, a collaborative and ongoing journey, a way for us to connect with each other and to connect with God's beautiful world. So until next week, I'll update you next week, and until then, blessings upon you. Be well. And take care of yourself. And know that you are loved.